So we're live. Cool. All right. I was going to make a video. I had some videos in mind to make. I have to do my Billy Joel concert video. Have a lot of footage on that to put into it. I don't know how many clips I took at the concert. Basically did each song, the beginning of each song, and all of some songs. How many clips do I have? Give me an idea. Yeah, there's 53 clips I'm going to be working with. So anyway, what I'm doing tonight is just talking about my new grab. So if anybody's around, you come up. That's cool. I'm just going to show you what I purchased in February. So far, my New Year's resolution is not working so great. So bought a lot of stuff. So just going to chill back. It's Friday night. Had a long day. It's peanut butter whiskey time. Yeah, peanut butter whiskey. Let's get that bad boy in there. And I'll start showing you what I got. It's almost like a little bar over here because I even have pretzels and everything. So I haven't listened to everything yet. I listened to a couple. Sounded pretty good. 2 of them, unfortunately, have skips. So I'm hoping that can be fixed. That vinyl looks really good. But for some reason, there must be something down there in the groove that's causing it to do that. I'm wondering, too. Wondering also if it's the record player, because I've had a thing with this record player in the past. I put the weight of the needle down where I thought it was a good area where it's not going into the groove too much, but it might be a little too light, I guess you could say, not going in enough, causing it to skip. Man, I had this cold like 2 weeks ago. It's still like right here. It's driving me crazy. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it up here on my record player over here, back there in the darkness of the world. And if it doesn't skip, then I know it's the record player, and I'm cool with it. Because I don't mind it, because I don't want to change that. I don't want the needle to go too far down into the groove. So whoever's out there, you can say hello in the chat. I'll say hello back to you. But let me bring up the first one. So I went ahead and put it in order, pretty much how it's going to go into the collection. If you saw my room tour a little while back, I kind of break it down into some genres. It's kind of like mood genres for me. I get why people mix all their albums together and just do alphabetical order. I don't get why people don't put their stuff in alphabetical order and not know where anything is. That would drive me nuts. So was it jazz? What do I have over there? I don't know the exact order, but it's like jazz, reggae, world, vocalists, R&B, which is all Ray Charles, soul, and then it goes into rock pop. So that's everything else in there. Because if I'm gonna move for blues, I want to look through my blues albums and go, okay, yeah, I want this one. Or jazz, same thing. I just want those together. Rock and pop, that can be spread out all over the place. So. And I showed you these other albums. So anyway, what I was explaining was I'm going to go ahead and I have these albums in order already, how they're going to go into the collection. It was just basically waiting for me to do the video. I usually end up with piles of records around the room, so I can do my videos. It's content, and a lot of people like to see what people are getting and all that. So I guess I could do a recap. So this was what I purchased. What's up? Is that Skinner out there? Is that AS saying hello? Did you join my live stream? So these are the ones I did in the last grabs. I'll just show you real quick. I've been really lucky lately with some jazz that some artists that I've been looking for. Cool. If you want to come up, come up. He's saying hello. And there you go. So these are the ones I got last time, just real quick. I have a whole video on this. So I got this Art Blakey, Meet You Jazz Corner of the World. Regular blue note, no tone poet, but it sounds really good. Another Art Blakey Mosaic. This is a really good album. I'm enjoying this. There you go. And then Lou Donaldson, I was happy to find some Lou. I really like Lou Donaldson. I'm getting into his stuff, at least the 60s stuff. But Alligator Boogaloo was really good. And Midnight Creeper, that came out. Yeah, as a tone poet. So I have two of his tone poets now. Blues Walk, I like a lot. Then I got into Elvin Jones. Yeah. This is my first Elvin Jones. I think it's my first Elvin Jones, but he's a drummer, jazz drummer. This is really just a great album. And then this was fun to find, the Blue Stingrays, Surf and Burn. And I keep looking down. Sorry, guys. I need to look up at you here. Surf and Burn was cool. This is some of the guys from the Heartbreakers, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. They did like a surf album, but I don't even think they say their names or anything in there, and it make it look like there's other albums that they made, and they didn't. It's kind of cool, but fun album. It's really nice blue vinyl. Enjoying that. Clapton, I had this on CD, but I finally found a nice copy. This was a reissue for Backless, and this is a cool one. It has what's the big ones here? If I Don't Be There by Morning, Promises, that was a decent hit, I think, and Tulsa Time's on here. I think, was that J.J. Cale, Tulsa Time? But great album all the way through, and I'm going to be going up with Glenn Kellaway soon, next Monday, and we'll be talking about Clapton, so I'm trying to do all my homework and everything and be prepared for that. And speaking of Clapton, there was Delaney, Bonnie, and Friends. Finally found a nice copy of that. I liked it. It's definitely right in there with that feel, because Clapton did a lot in 70. You figure he toured with Delaney, Bonnie, and Friends and did this album. It's a live album. Early 70s. Then he was working with Derek and the Dominoes and solo stuff. So his first solo album came out, I want to say October or something of 70. And then Derek and the Dominoes is like later, maybe November or something of 70. But all that, but you had a changing cast right in there. You had people from Delaney, Bonnie, and Friends and Derek and the Dominoes on his solo album, while you had him working on Layla and all that. And he's really getting into the heroin. And pretty much after Derek and the Dominoes dissolves, he goes into that 2-year hiatus into Drugville. So anyway, this one was cool. Bob Dylan and the Band, really good, really cool album. I'm glad I'm getting into some of these deeper cuts of Dylan, and I'll be seeing Bob Dylan next Wednesday, so I'm really happy. Bucket list thing to go see Bob, but this album sounds really good. MoFi 2 LP set, so really happy with that one. This one was cool. This was forever be happy about this one, where Chance, Concert Buddy. Yeah, you can't forget about Delaney and Bonnie, man. You gotta remember about them. But this was one of Billy Joel's first bands, the Hassles, Hour of the Wolf. I have the other Hassles album, and Chance was just gracious enough to get me a copy of this and send this to me. So in debt to that man, very much appreciate it. Played it, has some pops and stuff on it, but look, it plays. I'm cool. It sounds great. I'm very happy with it. Then Los Lobos. This was an EP they put out, and I'm trying to find more Los Lobos, but it's kind of hard to find those guys. But this is really good. It had even "Come On, Let's Go" from the song that they did for their La Bamba soundtrack, but a different version of it. just a great album, good sounding album. You can't really go wrong with Los Lobos. Solid all the way. And then finally got a nice, it's a reissue, but I got a nice copy of Neil Young's Tonight's the Night. So digging that one. Real happy with that. Yeah, just a great album. It's fun because the Neil Young catalog is so deep. I mean, right? So deep. I mean, you're going to see I got another one over here because he's just constantly putting out stuff. So it's kind of cool because you get to rediscover or newly discover, not rediscover, newly discover stuff that he did. And you're like, you saw the album cover, but never really checked the album out. And all of a sudden you check the album and go, why did I listen to this? So kind of doing the same thing with Dylan. There's still some Dylan albums I haven't listened to. So, and you would think with today's technology, I mean, I have everything on my phone, but I'm so busy discovering new things, and I have some exciting things in here I want to show you. You don't get to the other ones that are like, why didn't you get to those? You should have already listened to those, kind of thing. So different than when we were growing up. We didn't have access to this. We had other friends' music, like Andy here who's watching, Pink Floyd. Should have listened to him more. He was showing me some cool bass lines with Paul McCartney and the Beatles and Sgt. Pepper. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. But he was trying to show me some stuff. But he was the Pink Floyd guy, and he was getting into the deeper Floyd while I was in the 80s Floyd. Momentary Lapse of Reason was huge for me. But I think I have everything on vinyl for Floyd except for Umaguma, whatever you want to call it. It's the only one I don't have. But I've gone deeper into Floyd now, and I'm really enjoying it. And, it's weird. Syd Barrett was only on 1.5 albums. He was kind of just barely there on that second one, and they brought Gilmore in and all that. So interesting. So it's a shame. It's a shame that I didn't listen to you. Is that what you're trying to say? You can pour it on thick. It's okay. One cool thing I did find. So I saw Billy Joel last. Whoa, where am I? Come on. Why am I blurry? It's kind of messed up. Let me add some light. There we go. Strange. I saw Billy Joel last Saturday, so a week ago, and took the family. I was really happy because I haven't seen him. I saw him on the tour for the last album he put out. So that was River of Dreams. So that was the last tour I saw him. So I haven't even seen him for 30 years. And it was cool because now he has that new song out, and it was really cool to see him perform that, a new song, and see him in concert. So I'm not big on a stadium thing, but it was cool because my daughter's in a wheelchair. So we got nice, like in the club section at Raymond James Stadium, we were like right along the rail. So we didn't have anybody really in front of us. Everybody's below us. She could see right over everything with her wheelchair. So it was great. So I'll have video. I have some footage of that. Looking forward to that. But since I'm on a big Billy Joel kick now, first concert at the Trip. Did you mean Trop? I don't know. First concert at the Trip. Don't know what that is. So it was my daughter's real first concert, like pretty much their first one that they ever went to, and they were just wow. They knew the songs. They didn't realize they knew as many songs. Yeah, first concert at the Trop. Yeah. I saw him at the Tropicana Field twice, but it was the Thunderdome back then, whatever it was called. So it was cool to see them experience their first concert. So that was cool. And when I was out and about and hunting and all that this week, I found this. It's really cool. This is from Billy Joel in concert, Nassau Coliseum, May 28th. 1979. I was married on May 27th, so almost on my anniversary, but way before it. But yeah, it was. I'm looking through the Billy Joel albums, and this thing's just sitting in there, and it's cool. It's. I thought it was a program. I want to show off my Billy Joel stuff, but I'm saving it for the video. I have some things over there. Oh, I hate it when they tape these things. Let's see. But it's a cool poster And it's from '79. It's not a replica or anything, so it's kind of like, yeah, crap, I got to get this. So you have that. You have him on back there. What's he doing? The following is a partial list of contributors. So you have credits there. It opens up into this. That's when they had Liberty. Liberty's going to be in town, and I think I'm going to be stalking Liberty and try to get another autograph, or maybe even possibly, it's a dream, it's a hope, maybe get Liberty DeVito up on my YouTube channel for an interview. That would be freaking awesome. Because it was Billy Joel and Liberty were the two, I just love Liberty's drumming with Billy. But you have Doug Stegmeyer, and I think Doug is playing with Liberty. Is it Doug? No, Doug. I think Doug passed away. I think it's... Shoot, which one is it? Okay. Anyway, well, you have Richie Canada. He did horns and all that for Billy. And he tours with Liberty in the Lords of 52nd Street, which is a play off of the album 52nd Street, and they do all Billy Joel covers. So it's cool to hear Liberty doing it. I think it's... No, I got a quick look. I think Stegmeyer's the one that passed away. Who's in the Lords? 52nd Street. There we go. So it is Russell Javors. Okay. So yeah, I believe Doug passed away. So Russell Javors, which was, I don't think he was lead. I think he was acoustic, like rhythm guitarist for Billy. And then, so you got three guys from the Billy Joel, like when he formed his band, and it was his touring band as well as his studio band. Three of those guys, and it sounds good. I've seen some videos on YouTube, and they're going to be at Capitol Theater, which is a nice small venue. So trying to get the family to go. We might go see that one. So anyway, this thing opens up like this. It keeps opening up. I almost don't want to mess with it, but I want to show you guys. Somebody had it stuck to something, put some tape on there. So there it is. There's that part of it. And then the other side is it's kind of like Billy during Glass House's time, right? With the leather jacket and the tight blue jeans, right? Leather jacket, tight blue jeans, like scenes from Italian Restaurant. There you go. So Billy holding the pull cue. So very cool to get this little piece of Billy Joel history, especially from the 70s. On fire. Here by 79, yeah, Stranger, 52nd Street, all that was out. He's probably writing material for Glass Houses at that time. What's up, Sam? I'm up late doing my thing. If you want to come up, that's cool. I'm just showing my new grabs. I figure I'd go live and do it instead of just making a video. I was gonna make a video tonight. I'm like, let me go live, see if anybody's around. Have a little whiskey in my Rachel mug. So yeah, pick that up. Really cool. Happy to have it. I've got to find some space now on my walls because I have I'll show it. I'm going to show it in my Billy Joel video, but whiskey in my water, sugar in my tea. Absolutely. This was kind of cool. I couldn't pass this up. Billy Joel and Sting, and it's the concert we went to, Raymond James Stadium, Tampa, Florida. And the date. So it's like my daughter's first concert, both of them. So this will be something it's funny because they must have really been into it because I bought those 45s also from the new Billy Joel song. And I if you saw my video, I had a whole issue with that. And when they replaced the 45s, they just let me keep the old ones. So I told my daughter, I'm like, do you want to do something with this one? It works, but it's, defective. And she's like, yes. She took the 45, put it in her room. It's on her desk. So I think she was impacted by the concert, which is pretty cool. So, so let me show you some of these albums. You guys can tell me what you think. Sam, I thought of you today because I believe I just listened to Tom Waits' Foreign Affairs. And I thought it was you that recently talked about. I forgot the song on there where he's kind of going. I think it was side one, and he's going down the street. He's talking about like all the lewd acts and behavior of all the people. Um, it cracked me up because I thought it was you. I knew somebody in the vinyl community talked about that recently. When I'm listening to it, I had to start the song over because I realized what was going on there. I thought it was you talking about it. But so let me show you what I have here. It starts with the jazz, works its way through the soul stuff. Don't have any new blues, and then it goes into rock pop. So the first one I picked up is Caravan, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. Just I love Art Blakey, man. The guy's just awesome. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Now, I wonder who that was. Who was talking about that? Wasn't you, huh? Dang, who was that? Maybe it was Alex. Maybe. But yeah, Caravan. I haven't listened to this yet, but it's Art Blakey Jazz Messengers. You have Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, Curtis Fuller on trombone, Wayne Shorter on tenor sax, Cedar Walton piano, and Reggie Workman on bass. I mean, and Art Blakey with that, every album you see, he's got that freaking smile right there. He just loved what he was doing, and he was leading that band. So look forward to spinning this one. So I'm not going to put it quite over there because I haven't listened to it yet. And then I picked up, see, I don't even open this one yet, Booker Ervin. And it's pretty cool. It's called Textbook Tenor. And I kind of figured it was like, play on Booker, textbook, Booker. But I saw that it was textbook, not textbook. And I was like, is this dude from Texas? And he's from Texas. See, I'm very smart that way. It's pretty amazing how I can put things together, The drums aren't easy. No. And you should hear Blakey. If you want to hear some cool drumming in jazz, Art Blakey's amazing. He's very gracious. He doesn't hog it all, but there's usually a little drum solo in there somewhere, but it's always good. I just listened to a couple things just to see if this was my style. Actually, no, I haven't heard anything off this. This was sight unseen. I don't usually do that, but I went for it. I went for it on this. But this has Gitchy, Dentex in a Capricornian way, Lynn's Tune in 204. So hopefully I'm going to like it. It's not one of those obscure jazz albums, hopefully. But I look forward to listening to that. Then there was one here. I've listened to some of this album in the past. This is a Herbie Hancock, and it's a Empyrean Isles, I think is how you pronounce it. But he has Cantaloupe Island on here. And if you remember, there's a song in the 90s that was called just Cantaloupe. And it was like funky. It was like, it's like very, they took it from this Herbie Hancock song and it just brought the rhythm up. I think the tempo is a little slower in Herbie's original version. But I look forward to listening to the rest of this album. It's one I was kind of just looking for, and it popped up. It's a Blue Note, not a Tone Poet, classic vinyl series, but I haven't had any problems with any Blue Notes or Tone Poets. Just never had an issue. So look forward to listening to that bad boy. And it's another one. Jackie McLean. I haven't heard this album, but I like Jackie McLean. And you think it's right in the 60s, but man, it's something just so cool. You get a whole story right there with these jazz albums. And I just love that, where you get that little background story and it's so well written. Like they made sure it was well written, right, when they did those jazz albums. So it's very cool. Beverly Hills Cop. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. But this is, I believe I don't know if it's just action or, I guess it's just action. I thought it was action, but it's not, because on the spine it says action, and on the back it says action. So it's just action. So this is a Blue Note Tone Poet, cut direct from the analog. So you have the original Rudy Van Gelder recording, and then you have Kevin Gray in there. Yeah, doing it 180 gram vinyl. Just everything about it. They redo these covers, not always the originals, but I like it. This is a gatefold. I haven't opened it yet. It has Action, Plight, Wrong Handle, I Hear a Rhapsody, and Hootnan. So, like I said, I have another Jackie McLean album, and I like it. So, took a guess. Took a couple gambles here. I really don't do that because of the price of vinyl and everything. But I took a gamble. So I don't know if any of you guys have any jazz like that or any of these albums. Sam, I think you have a couple jazz, right? You have a few. Let me. I'll put a link up there, but I want to mainly stay on these new releases and any conversation you have about these. There you go. So if anybody wants to join me, if I know you. All right, last jazz album, Stanley Turrentine, Mr. Natural. He is what's kind of tenor sax player. But you have Lee Morgan on trumpet here, McCoy Tyner on piano, Bobby Cranshaw bass, Elvin Jones drums. Elvin Jones? Wasn't that Elvin Jones right there? Where did I see Elvin Jones? Well, he was in this other mix, wasn't he? Yeah, so you do see all the cross whole thing going on. What do you have? This has Wahoo, a.k.a. Stanley's Blues, Shirley, Tacos, My Girl Is Just Enough Woman for Me, and Can't Buy Me Love. Can't Buy Me Love's the only one I really just didn't. I don't like jazz covers of songs like, when they do Beatles or something, because it gets into the Muzak territory for me. To be honest, the song's cool until it does it. I'm like, this is kind of Muzak. I don't like that. You have Louis Armstrong under. Cool. I only have one. No, I don't think I have any Louis Armstrong yet. It's kind of hard to find either good quality or good reissue of Louis. No, I have Louis, and I have Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald, the album they did, and they sang together and all that. So I do have that, and her voice is so amazing. So next one. I was wondering why I put it here, but it is a soul album, and I don't know if it's Spanish influenced or like Tex-Mex or something. Oh, there goes my cool hype. Of course, I always keep the hype sticker. This band's Orgon, I think is how you pronounce it. Psychedelic soundscapes and head mix of swamp funk, aero rock, and voodoo soul from California's heaviest hitters. And it's fun. If you like GA20, even though GA20 is more heavy blues, right? GA20 is more heavy blues. These guys are like, psychedelic, good. I had it downstairs listening to it, good stereo mix, good sound, organ, some instrumentals, and some they're singing. I think the one Zoom Zoom or one of those, I believe it's sung in Spanish from what I know. But these guys have been around since like 2000. I haven't checked out any of their albums, but I think and the album artwork's cool. I mean, that's killer. But I was, and the next artist too, I found, and it's interesting that they're both soul, but the next artist I'm going to show you too, I was, hey Rob, what is up? Just up showing my new grabs. Figure I'd do a live instead of just doing a video. But these guys I found, I think I was looking at the record store day list, and then I was kind of like, oh, what's coming out? Maybe I'll do a new release or up and coming albums video or something. And I came across this one and the next one that I'm going to show you. But this is really cool. Hollow Dreams, Lies and Games, Basilisk, Peace for You, Parasols, Zoom Zoom, Running Low, The Husk, Tula Muzi, I think, Dance Like Them. But there's the backside. It's just cool. It's a nice gatefold, nice presentation. So cool artwork. Check them out if you haven't. I've asked a couple people just randomly in live streams if they've ever heard of them, and nobody has. And like I said, I think they've been around since 2000 or so. They're very independent. There's not even like a wiki page on them because that's, I was trying to do my homework with Wikipedia and found nothing on them. And I found a small blurb somewhere. Okay, it's awesome. Gotta love it when your album tries to come out on you. Lordy, those poly sleeves are a little slippery. Maybe that's what I want, a new channel name. Maybe I'll be Slippery Poly Sleeves. Slippery sleeves. I don't know. Anyway, very cool record. All right. This one I'm very happy with. Very, very, very happy with. So this is Ella Washington. And for some reason, I saw this picture. And I don't know. I just felt when I'm going through, and I just assumed it was like one of those like retro sounding. It just looked like it was like I don't know. It could have been hip hop or something. I guess I don't know, something. I don't know. I was just interested by that look, and I thought it was like a newer release, but this actually came out in 1969. And there it looks like more like 1969 with those pictures. But this is a soul album. There's a little Aretha in here. The guitar playing reminds me of those run-on licks that Otis Redding, his band, used. There's gospel in here. There's a little bit of blues. What song was that? There was a song that was really blues heavy toward the end. I don't remember. I've heard it once, but just great. She's from Miami, Florida. Put out one album, I think, and then she ended up being like a preacher or something, like a gospel preacher or something. But this is just great from beginning to end. If I finally get around to doing my Soul Tag video for DJ, Scott over there, DJ Vinyl Vertigo, I will be talking about this one. So initially released on the legendary Soundstage 7 imprint, Ella Washington's debut album contains some of the deepest soul in her catalog. So I don't know. She has a catalog. I'll have to check it out. Recorded in 1969 at Music City Records in Nashville, Tennessee. So it's On High Records. There you go. So very cool. If you haven't checked that out and you want some good soul, the drums are in there, it has strings, and God, it has everything in there. Just really good. Really good. But the bass and the drums are really prominent, so it's good. All right. Then finally picked up a copy. I'm with you, Rob, if you're still here. I don't know. There's two people watching, so I don't know who the hell's out there. Got this. Yeah, I like that 80s Aerosmith, and I want to get Permanent Vacation also, because I think that's the one that had Ragdoll. I like Ragdoll. I like all that. But Loving in Elevators, the only, is whatever. I never really, it was just so gimmicky when it came out. But it's still a fun song. Monkey in My Back, I think that was probably okay. But Janie's Got a Gun, there was something about the way they recorded that. It was just crazy good. The Other Side is a good song. My Girl, I'll have to see. I got to listen to this one again. Don't Get Mad, Get Even, Voodoo Medicine Man, and What It Takes. So, What It Takes was like, because this came out, 89 or 90 or something like that, 89. And I was going through a breakup of my first serious relationship, and What It Takes, I just played the crap out of that song, and Sacrifice. Those two songs just played and played and played, and Nothing Compares to You. So, well, I'm losing everybody. Everybody's leaving me. Oh, well. All right, so Aerosmith, Pump, nothing real fancy, just reissue, black vinyl. Nothing fancy. I don't think there's anything in there. Nothing like that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm with you, and I think that was you, Rob, that kind of got it back on my radar. Um, I have when Honkin' on Bobo came out, I got it on CD, but you have the album. And so I want to get Permanent Vacation. I think those are the two I'll be happy with if I kind of fill the gap with those. And then Aerosmith's kind of hit or miss with me. They definitely have some stinker albums, but that's definitely a good album. Ooh, just putting my. I'm a hype sticker guy. I always keep my hype sticker. Why not? Just put it in there. What does it hurt? Throw it in the back. There you go. All right. Then just slowly, where did this one come from? Must have been Aerosmith. Slowly filling in the Beatles a little bit more. I mean, I have all the main albums, those are all taken care of, but then I kind of started going, well, should I start getting the UK release stuff, and I went ahead and don't know if this is an original, have no idea, but I do know Janis owned it once. There's Janis, Peace to Janis, tribute to Janis. Man, I just think these HP cameras suck. Come on, dude. Come on. There we go. So cool. Rob's on here. I gotta adjust my volume. Everybody else is sleeping around me. I don't have the luxury of having a basement. I'm stuck between that wall is where my kid's sleeping and that wall my wife is sleeping. So,
hey man, how you doing?
Good. What's up?
Not much. I just shot a video for this weekend.
Oh, did you? What's your theme here?
Exactly what you're doing. Stuff I just picked up.
That's always a good one. Yeah.
You know what? It's funny. I've been away for the week for work, so I kind of bagged off today. And the wife and I went for breakfast. And there's a record store next door to the diner that I went to. And I hate the record store. They suck. And I explained in the video why they suck. But I said to my wife, I'm like, let's just go in. Like, we were literally parked right in front of it. I never find anything in there for a bunch of reasons that I talk about in the video.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time in 10 years of going in there, I bought more than one record. So I got a bunch of great stuff today. Hey, Sam, how you doing? So, yeah, I figured I might as well make a video about it.
How many did you walk out with?
5 albums and then 2 CDs. Now, I don't normally buy CDs, but I'm sending some VCLT to somebody. I won't say who yet. Reciprocating some that I received from somebody. And an album that I want to share with them is not available on vinyl. So, and they happen to have it on CD for $3. I'm like, well, shit.
There you go.
So,
yeah. Did they? I found myself more and more going to the listening station now. Like I was at a different record store this week, and I really wanted. I'll show you Tom Waits I got here in a minute, but they had 3 copies of it. I'm looking, and they look clean, but I'm like, I spent like probably half an hour to 45 minutes at the listening station.
I am never that fussy.
I'm usually not, but I'm trying to fill in that Tom Waits collection. So
sure.
It was like, do I spend the extra $10 because this one looks really good?
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Other than that, if it's a $5, record, yeah, I go for it. I try to, just go by sight kind of thing.
My pickups today were a good mix of filling a couple holes and also a couple things that I never thought in a million years I would find in a record store.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a great day.
That's cool. That happened to me when I did the last new grabs video, and I found, I have a wish list. I'm not going to buy a lot of albums this year. I'm going to spend time. Yeah, that's working out well. But the first thing I picked up was Blue Stingrays. That one I showed it. I don't know if you're watching that.
Yeah, I remember.
You can't find that thing anywhere. And all of a sudden, boom, there it was. And I have a wish list. I'm like, okay, I'm only getting stuff on my wish list. And everything was there. It's like, oh my God. Yeah.
I'm taking a similar but different approach. I'm not going to buy as many records this year, at least dollar wise. I'm going try and stay away from the new stuff unless it's something I have to have.
Right.
And I'm just gonna try and concentrate on the, $5 and $10 records and fill in some holes and stuff that I'm actually gonna listen to. That's a good find. Wow.
Yeah. And it's funny because they don't credit anybody on here.
No, it's weird.
And it's like that Thing That You Do soundtrack.
Oh, I'm so glad. Did you pick that up?
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I finally got it.
Did you hear? I went through friggin' hoops to get mine. It was a nightmare.
Yeah. Your whole story of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny because look, these other albums that don't exist, that's
very cool.
Yeah. But the best thing about this was that you got a cool vinyl color though, didn't you? On the other one?
Yeah.
I think mine's just black, but
it's like a clear colored splatter.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. This one is nice. This one I always show off, but it's a nice.
Oh yeah.
Look at
very
that thing.
nice.
Only thing, it's a little noisy, a couple pops, so I don't know if I need to get it cleaned a little bit more.
Yeah.
But really, it's only in the quiet places, and there's not a lot of quiet places. So, and this is
it adds to the ambiance.
Yeah. Some albums, it's okay. I'm okay with it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not going to complain about it.
That's cool that you found that. Ever since I saw it on the video, I'm like, I'll keep an eye out for it. I doubt I'm ever going to see it, but
yeah, when I saw this, I'm like, how when you probably just experienced that, you're looking at it going, is that in front of me?
That's exactly what happened. It's this one artist that is local that even people here don't even know exists. And I'm not a fan because this artist is obscure. It's just she put out one of the best damn rock albums I've heard in the last 10 years. And she has one other album on vinyl, but it was self-released. I'm like, I am never going to find it. I'm flipping through the bins and I flipped right past. I'm like, wait a minute. Did I just see that? And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's fun. Cause you kind of, I look at my wish list very sarcastically. Like,
right.
Yeah, okay.
It's a wish list for a reason.
Right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, what the, and then what the, yeah.
Yeah.
No, look at Sam showing off. Mine, I don't see a pick in there. Nope. Dang it. No pick.
I missed the beginning of your chat. Did you find these at one of the local shops, or what was this from several trips, or what was it?
Mainly, excuse me. Mainly two shops. My regular Kingfish, and then there's another one called Clearwater Record Shop, and they only have used. They don't have anything new in there. They don't do record store day, but they, from what I've heard, because their prices are up there, but they do a good job of grading it. They actually listen to every record and put the grading and all that stuff. So they put a lot of time into it.
Sure.
But what I've heard is when people do sell them their records, they give them a better price than most places too. So
that's good.
So
I wish I had a regular local store, but I don't.
I don't know if you do, because it's very dangerous. Get very comfortable.
The weird thing is, so
it's
the town that I'm in, there's one true record store, and it's good, but it's really small. So you can't go more than once every few months because it's going to be the same stuff.
Yeah, and I'm so familiar with the store. Like, yeah, I go in there and I just know where that record's been sitting there.
Literally, this local shop in my town, maybe you could fit 5 people in the store. Like it's tiny. So I got to drive to another city to go to another record store, and the next town over, one shop that sucks and one that's okay. So I got to drive like an hour, even though I live in a city of 160,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
And we're the smallest city around. I still got to drive an hour to get to a decent record store, which is ridiculous.
I'm pretty fortunate. Like, I would say within half an hour to 45-minute drive radius, I probably have 6 to 7 record stores to choose from. Well, even more, because there's some down in St. Pete I haven't even been to.
Yeah.
And one called Bananas. I'm gonna one real quick. Andy, there's a link down there. You just click it. My friend's on here for the first time. Bananas is just a warehouse. You literally walk up these stairs and it has a top room, and then you walk down inside and it's like a basement.
Right.
in Florida. It's still the first floor, but just wall to wall. Like what? Where am I? Crazy.
Oh wow, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fun. It's a cool experience because I've never been in a record store quite like that. And then their other store is more of a. It's kind of cool. It looks like a regular record store, but it's a good size record store. In the back, they really did a good job because in the back years ago, they would have all their dollar records, but it was kind of like outside. It was closed in, but it wasn't air conditioned. And in Florida in the summer, it's like, ugh. But I just went there a couple months ago, and they actually have it closed off with air conditioning and everything. And they have all these old like radios and antiques all through there. And it says, "Don't touch," no touching. But
yeah,
that's fun. You can spend a day just in that back room.
That could get dangerous too.
Yeah. And they even have a cool place. It looks like it's neat because they have bookshelves. So all your rock and roll books are there.
Right.
And seating, like U-shaped seating. And looks like you could have a listening party there because there's like 3 or 4 record players lined up there. So they did a good job.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. Let's see. Now you need the single, John, 2 extra track. Great. Now here it goes. Something to add to the wish list.
There you go.
Yeah. See, he was talking about the drummer from Mudcrutch, but I have Mudcrutch. There's 2 Mudcrutches. I have the second one, but my first one has I don't know what's wrong. I bought it new, but it's got a skip or something in it. So I can't find that one for a reasonable price to replace it. So I kept my bad copy for now.
They're on my wish list. I think the first one is stupidly expensive, I think.
Yeah.
And the second one is a little easier to come by, but I could order it off Discogs, but I don't need it that badly. I'm just hoping to stumble across it in the wild someday.
Yeah. Well, Sam has a guitar pick, but I have a Mudcrutch card that I got at the Tom Petty concert. They were handing these out, and I was like, "What's Mudcrutch?" I had no idea.
Right.
So I had to get caught up on the history of it. Yeah, it even had a complimentary Mudcrutch MP3. Pretty cool.
Cool.
So let's see. Let me get caught up here. Only one store here in town. Yeah, and I like the first Mudcrutch, I think, over the second one. I know. I think I have an extra one, Sam. If I can find that extra one, I'll send you a little envelope. It'll go your way. Because I know Sam was looking for this guy too. The little Tom Petty Simpsons character.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah. Those things go crazy price. He was right. I think they go for, I want to say 400 or 500 in a box or something.
Holy shit.
I think something like that. Maybe I'm over the top, but I think it's crazy. So, yeah, I was going to bring this one up. So I'm kind of filling in gaps on the Beatles. Have all the essential stuff.
That looks relatively new.
It's well, it was owned by Janus. So Janus.
There you go. Mine was owned by my dad.
See, that's a lot. I got a whole video I'm gonna do.
Is it on Apple?
Is it? See, yeah, it is. It does have the.
What's the matrix number on it?
Is that the SO that you're talking about? Like the SO 385?
Yeah, I have to check.
Yeah, I don't know anything about. I know you get a little deeper into it than I do.
Yeah.
I go album like, and I get it.
let me pull mine. Hold on a second.
Okay. One thing crazy though, she had her name on a sticker on there. You can't see it, but it right there at the top of the apple, or bottom of the apple, and I had to take that off. So she kind of ruined that a little bit.
Mine's a Canadian press, but the matrix number should still be the same.
Yeah, she not only wrote on her album, she put stickers on there. So like right here, you can see where the sticker was.
Yeah, you've got a first press there, John.
Oh, I do?
SO1-385.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, it's a pretty common record.
Yeah, but it's kind of bragging rights a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go. And it's clean. Like Janice didn't play it much, or she took very good care of her records.
Mine doesn't even have ring wear on it. And It's got my dad's name on the back there.
That's cool. That's kind of sentimental.
Absolutely.
I have a friend of mine. His dad was getting rid of some records, and I picked up I think it was an early Ricky Nelson or something, but it had. So he was in the Air Force, so they had stickers that they would actually put on their albums. So it had like his name and then his rank or whatever, Air Force Base or whatever. So it's kind of cool, you know, to see that.
This record always kind of amused me or perplexed me because, I mean, it's essentially a collection of singles, and it's all later career stuff. Hey Jude, Revolution, Paperback Writer, a lot of that kind of stuff. And then they throw in I Should Have Known Better, which was off of Hard Day's Night, and Can't Buy Me Love. And those two songs just do not fit with everything else that's on this record. It's
you're right. I didn't think about that.
It's very disjointed, but
or put them together at the beginning or something.
Yeah, it's just weird. I mean, I'm glad to have a Beatles completist, so I'm glad to have it. But
yeah. No, I'd seen it several times, and new one came in, and I was like, let me just do it, take a gamble. So yeah, it's cool to have that. So 39 years ago today, Southern Accents. So yeah, and that was supposed to be his return to his roots, but with the production, some of it was very Southern themed, no matter how you look at it. Just Don't Come Around Here No More was a very like psychedelic song right in the middle of it all. But the rest of the album was very like, you have Rebel, which is about rednecks and their cars. And you have, what's the very last song about? She used to work in a restaurant. So that's very hometown, you know? So I think the song Southern Accents is one of his best songs ever. Yep. Got some weirdo up here. Let's see if he can figure out his camera. So the dude I'm bringing up, we've grown up together. Our crazy wild days. This is Andy. What's up?
Hi. I'm doing this on the phone.
You're in weird mode right now.
Wait, am I moving?
Everything's moving, yeah. You're gonna make us throw up here in a second.
Sorry. Got my drums. Bass and guitar.
Cool.
Ready to roll.
Yeah, you just got to get down here so we can play.
No. Is that better?
Yeah, I can see you. You got more ceiling than you, but that'll work. And this is Rob over here. Rob's all the way up in Canada. I can't point.
All the way up in Canada, America's freaking better half.
Well, I don't know better, but we're half, I guess.
So I haven't heard the Keith Richards. I guess he has a new one out today.
Wow.
So he has another solo album coming out? Or is he doing EPs like Ringo?
I think it's gonna be more like stuff that Mick didn't come to.
Yeah, I don't know. Trailer
Howard Stern, so I'm sorry.
The what?
I listened to Howard Stern. I'm sorry. I'm using a phone.
No, that's cool. I can hear you fine. It's working.
But yeah, Keith Richards said that Mick didn't want to show up, so he was just doing.
I'll have to check your facts on that.
It's the Howard Stern interview.
Oh, is he on Stern again recently?
Yeah, within the past month.
Oh, that's cool. So trailer off Mudcrutch 2 was originally recorded for Southern. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, really? That's a good redneck. We were talking about Southern accents because it was 39 years ago. I remember that playing like crazy on MTV. Don't Come Around Here No More and all that. I think that was the only real big hit off of that album, but the whole album's great.
I saw that at the record store today, and I had it in my hand, but I put it down in lieu of something else.
Oh, that's such a good album.
It is.
And I think it's only 9 tracks.
At least you guys got to see him live.
Yep. Yeah, I got to see him twice.
God, money. Don Henley I've seen twice. Eric
Yeah.
Clapton twice, but no Tom Petty.
Yeah. Well, we saw Henley together twice.
Yeah, I think so. And
Yeah,
back
over at USF.
and
for the
Damn Yankees,
damn Yankees. Yeah.
Billy Joel, the first concert.
Yep.
Eric Clapton at least once together. I know I saw him twice, but at least once together.
Yeah, Clapton, that one was disappointing because we couldn't hear a damn thing. We were on the floor and we thought we had great seats, and we were a little bit behind to the side of the sound booth, but we couldn't hear crap for that whole concert. It was just one big echo. Even when he went up to do the acoustic stuff, because it was like right during the unplugged stuff, and man, it's disappointing.
I don't remember if you remember, but it was when the Trop was brand new. Tropicana Field.
I don't care.
Up in the top, and we were flooded. We were flooding. I think it was Billy Joel. It might have been Henley. I don't know.
I don't remember that.
And now they're all closed off pretty much because
Well, seeing Billy Joel at the stadium was kind of cool. It was outdoors and the sound was great. They had huge towers so you could hear everything. There was no it was kind of cool because you could hear the drums when the drums hit, and you can hear it like that echo, that reverb of the drums hitting. So that was kind of cool. So I have to check out the Keith Richards. That one. Yeah, The Best of Everything, Sam. That song's great. She used to work in a restaurant like her mama did or something like that. That's such a great.
About the new Billy Joel song?
Huh?
The new Billy Joel song. Have you talked about that at all?
Yeah. Yeah, I did a video on it and how awesome my 45 was of that.
Tonight, have you?
No. I mean, I mentioned it a little bit, but I like the song. I think it's, and I
30 years in the making.
Yeah. Yeah, he had that one, All My Life, that they released early 2000s, but I don't think he wanted that released. And it's not a good song. It's him doing his Frank Sinatra impersonation. So, and he's very particular. That's why he hasn't done anything in so long, because he doesn't want to, fill up albums with bad music. Elton John just keeps putting out these albums. They're like, why are you putting this out, man?
That's the way that I feel about all of our heroes. Just let it be.
Yeah.
Unless you got something,
Yeah.
Billy Joel, I think, did a pretty good job with the new song. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut in and take over.
No, we all take our turns. We're all good. It's all laid back. Got my peanut butter whiskey. There you go. My Screwball. So you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, look at Rob. Peanut butter whiskey. What the holy? I didn't want to do the Bob Dylan tonight. This is a little bit lighter, so I didn't want to get too crazy. I got to get up in the morning.
You guys play guitar or anything?
Rob, you kind of play, right? Sort of.
Well, what would give you that idea?
Yeah.
All the guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's 15 of them in this room. Yeah, I do. No, I mean, I would not call myself a guitar player.
When you guys sit here and do this, do you?
No.
Because I was telling JP that I literally have to sit here and play my drums and a bass just to make up my own
little rhythm section.
Yeah, I guess.
You got to do like the Def Leppard drummer and get it all laid out at your feet. You can do the drums and bass and everything.
Well, that's kind of what I was telling JP. If I can just keep my left arm separate, I can sit here and use my whole left foot, right foot, and right arm, and then have my left arm to sit here and play open,
wow.
Play open like a monkey.
When you get that figured out, you let me know. I want to see that video when you get that figured out of you being a monkey with the drums and add a tambourine, maybe like you can bounce up and down and play the tambourine or something.
Nah, I didn't mean it like that, but you know what I mean? Like being
And put a
able to
kazoo in
play
your mouth.
so that way your left arm can sit here and play the hi-hat and play the slash and play the snare if you needed a little bit of fill-in. And
Yeah,
then,
you get all that figured out. You can go to St. Augustine and it'd be like one of those one-man bands down there.
no, I just want to play the drums better. That's it. So I've been trying to play a bass guitar just
I like playing bass.
whilst playing the drums.
Well, not while playing drums. I haven't tried that.
Well, that's what I'm working on.
But here's some trivia for you. So I'm gonna keep showing my albums. So have you heard of this band?
Look,
No.
like,
So does this guy look familiar? Where is he? There he is, right there.
I gotta go.
A little blurry. It's not Billy Joel.
Alice Cooper.
Mm-mm. So this is it's I want to call it sort of Southern rock before he got really heavy, but that's Ronnie James Dio.
Oh, Dio.
I wondered about that.
And I'm not a big Dio 80s fan. I don't like that metal sound or whatever. But this is good, like
He had a couple pretty good songs.
yeah, but not where I'd want to buy the album. But this is like good, like early 70s rock and roll. But they had two albums. This was LA, was that 59 or whatever? But this was the UK version of it. The excuse me, US version was called Carolina County Ball, and it's a whole different picture, but it's the same album. So I don't know why they did that. Like, it's weird when they do stuff like that. It just makes it confusing as a collector. But so same exact album. So pick this one up. It's pretty good.
You have to have them both.
Yeah, I have both of them. They only had 3 albums before he moved on. I think I forgot he was in Rainbow and stuff. I'm not big into that kind of music, but
I liked Rainbow.
yeah. But I picked that one up, and then they had this one too. So that's their other one. So, yeah, try it out, Rob. See what you think. Try the Carolina County Ball, though. I would try that one. This one's a little bit weaker. But
how do I make it where I can actually see it?
See what do you? Well, you're also, you need to turn your phone.
And this way?
There we go.
Okay.
So the next one, I have a consumer awareness report. So Foreigner Records, which I'm not a huge Foreigner fan, but this album just works for me. I mean, this is just, greatest hits, just killer. But I got it at Walmart on clear vinyl, and I love clear vinyl, and usually clear vinyl is fine. This is very loud, like very to the point and cloudy. I thought maybe there's something wrong with my needle again. But I played it on a different needle downstairs, and it was a little bit clearer, but it's not the best recording of it. So are you into Foreigner, Rob? Or you have anything by them?
I'm kind of like you. I don't mind the hits.
Yeah. It's a nice record.
I don't have anything by them, but
yeah, this is all I need. I have their first album, which is pretty good.
I like Foreigner. It's just feels like the first time. Is that?
Yeah. Yeah, it has Cold as Ice. Yeah, yep. Head Games, Double Vision, Waiting for a Girl Like You. What's cool is they I guess they had extra room on the album because originally it was just these 10 songs, but they actually added I Want to Know What Love Is on the first side. So to me, it's everything I want by Foreigner right there. So good album. I mean, good rock, Interesting. And one thing I don't like though, like when they do a greatest hits and they do alternate versions of songs on the greatest hits that weren't like the radio version you're used to, and this one was okay, but they did Hot Blooded, the live version of Hot Blooded. So
I don't mind put that on as a bonus track, but if you're doing a greatest hits, put the hit on there.
Yeah. Yeah, it drives me crazy because even I was looking up Howard Jones. that what was that song that he had? One of his big songs. And I'm looking it up and I'm playing it. And I'm like, this really, because you know a song. As soon as something's different, you're like, what's going on? So you look and it's like, whatever remix. I'm like, why did you need to remix the damn song? It was perfect. If you want to do a unplugged version or something, do that on the side, but man.
I had that happen. I bought I was flea market or whatever, and I bought a Chuck Berry record, and it was all of his hits. But what I didn't realize at the time is that he'd gone back into a studio and re-recorded all of those hits 10 years later.
Yeah.
And it's fine because Chuck Berry is a fucking great guitar player.
Right.
But they just sound different enough. You're like, that's not quite right.
Yeah. And I haven't heard them, but I heard that ZZ Top, after they did their 80s albums with the electronic drums, kind of like what we have here, they went back to their old stuff and re-recorded it with those sounding drums and more of an 80s sound. Like the early 70s, that was just great classic rock sound.
Yeah.
I haven't run across them, but I hear they're out there. So I don't know why they must have had something in their head that they thought was going to work. But if you're going to I'm with you. Put out it's like Billy Joel's greatest hits. There's, he added 2 songs at the end. You don't want to listen to the last 2 songs and just stop it at that point.
Okay, I have a serious question about Billy
No
Joel.
serious questions.
The first album, apparently they sped it up by 13%, and he hates it. Did they air quote fix it, or is it the same way that it is?
No, they fixed it. They went back and as best as they could, because the company that he had a contract with and the company he was trying to get out of and move to LA because of him. When they did the master tapes to the, what they call it, the mother disc or whatever.
Yeah.
They call the copies off of that process. They did it at the wrong speed, making it to that. So he gets a an acetate. Isn't that what it's called? Like that temporary, right? Yeah. He gets the acetate and he goes to has his friends over. He's like, come on guys. And my new album's ready. And he puts it on and his friends are like, God, you sound like freaking Alvin and the Chipmunks.
That's what yep.
He took it and freaking tossed it out the window and shattered. It's a great story, but in the 80s they went back and there's a better version. Like on the remastered CDs, it's the normal speed.
I think you were born when that album came out.
No, it was 70, so no, I wasn't born till Piano Man was 73, so I was 1 when Piano Man came out. But yeah, they still kept him under contract and moved to LA and all that stuff. So it was interesting.
No, he made money, I guess.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. He put a book out and then he nixed it right when it was supposed to be published. He just stopped it for some reason. But grab this one too. This is one of those posthumous Hendrix albums.
Aren't they all?
Yeah. 9 to the Universe. So this was I think this was recorded around 69 or 70. So you have that mix of the Jimi Hendrix Experience as well as what was his other band called? Oh, come on.
The Experience. That's
right after that when he brought in Buddy.
The Electric.
He brought in Buddy Miles. Shoot.
The Electric Band.
I can't remember the name of the other band. But so you have a mix of the Experience and the other band on this. Just a lot of instrumentals and jamming, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's when a lot of people lost interest when he kind of got into the.
Do you have much Hendrix, Rob? I don't know if you've ever talked about Hendrix.
I think I've got Electric Ladyland. Are You Experienced? And then the posthumous, I've got People, Hell, and Angels.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
What's the best Hendrix song? I'm going to grab it here. I'm saying Little Wing, but I'll be right back.
I like Castles. Made of Sand. What's the other band? Oh, it's going to drive me crazy. I can't think of his band name. Hendrix Experience and Band of Gypsies.
Band of Gypsies, yes.
So that's where he brings in, Buddy Miles, more of a funk drummer, that
Yeah.
whole sound. But, you know, he might have played with Miles Davis, and that would be kind of cool if that happened. But you're not big into jazz. I know that. You don't kind of.
No, it baffles me. It doesn't interest me. My dad had a lot of jazz records, so I
Really?
heard a lot of it when I was a kid.
Oh, I remember that's right. You told me
And
that
I've
story.
it just doesn't. Yeah,
Well, yeah, when you have to listen to it and you don't like it, it doesn't make it good.
yeah,
Fortunately, he played a lot of stuff too that you liked, and obviously
yeah.
that influenced.
It just never. It doesn't. It's not something I go. Yeah, I need to. I want to get into that more. Because I know
Do you
nothing
guys
about
listen
it.
to like the
Yeah.
Allman Brothers or
I have some.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have I know I have a couple of their albums.
Doobie Brothers?
I don't have any Doobie Brothers. They kind of, especially when I like Michael McDonald, but when he joined the Doobies, I don't know.
Michael McDonald was in the Doobies?
Yeah, that's his name, right? Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
when he did What a Fool Believes, wasn't that the Doobie Brothers? That wasn't him. I think that was Doobie Brothers. So like China Grove and the early stuff I like. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, you're kicking my ass on that. Wondering.
But I found a sealed copy of Nylon Curtain. Like sealed from 1982.
Are you gonna unseal it?
I don't know. I don't know what to do. I have
Do it.
a Glass Houses from 80 that's still sealed. And then, of course, right next to it was a sealed copy of Innocent Man. It's like, God. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm very torn here. I'm like, it'd be a cool video opening 3 Billy Joel albums from 80 to 83, you know.
I used to think I never understood keeping a record sealed. I'm like, that's just fucking stupid. Play the record. That's what it's for.
I agree.
And then I now have 2 sealed records that I won't open.
Right. You understand it now.
Well, only because and they're not rare records by any means, but you know I've got a little thing for Susanna Hoffs.
Yeah, just a little. Yeah.
A little thing for
She just
Susanna
shows up
Hoffs.
in your videos randomly.
Yeah, she does. She won't leave me alone. She's like a stalker. I have their first 2 albums. I found sealed copies. I already had them, but they were still sealed, and they had the original hype sticker on them, still sealed, and they were like $5. And I'm like, you know what? It's $5. It's my fantasy wife. I'll pick them up.
Yeah. There's and I have copies already open. You're right there.
Then you don't need to keep. You don't need to open them.
So now it's like, it's kind of cool just to say I have those, that haven't been open, and it doesn't mean the record's going to be good. Cause when I first started collecting vinyl, I picked up a copy of, he's having problems over there. I picked up a copy of George Harrison's Cloud Nine sealed. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Got it home. And that sucker was like,
oh yeah.
Well,
and you risk it too. If the shrink is too tight on it, it can bend the jacket too.
That, what's interesting, you bring that up because, where'd it go? So somehow I got into a Harry Styles kick. Don't ask me how.
Oh boy.
But it's good. It's good. It's good pop stuff. But anyway,
my wife keeps saying that, and about that, and I'm like, I can't do it.
There's stuff in here. Believe it or not, like, it's like, am I listening to Bowie? Like, there's like a lot of.
I know, but no.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, and I get it. So, but this album, the shrink on this freaking thing is so tight. This is the 3rd copy, and finally it was okay. But I swear it was because of the shrink, like you were saying. That when I pulled the album out, it was like this. It wasn't even like, it was weird, and you could tell that shrink had stretched it, and it's like that's how they put the album together, because it was at Walmart, it was at Target, even at the record store. All the copies were tight like that. So I don't know why they went so tight on that.
Because they don't want you to open it.
I don't know. They don't. The quality control.
I don't know. I really love him for his like ability to be a one-man fucking band with just the guitar.
Who, Harry Styles?
The songs are pretty good, but
Yeah, I was surprised. And the only reason I listened to his album because I did that thing. I went to Walmart and I looked at the 13 albums across the first shelf and I said, I'm going to listen to these things. And 3 of them were good and the rest were like, oh my God. So it was bad. But that was one of them. Like, holy
You
crap.
made yourself listen to the top 13.
Well, whatever the 13 albums were across. So there was Adele.
You made yourself listen to them.
Yeah, for a video. Yeah.
It's a neat idea for video, John. I'll give you that.
You do it because it's like
For one of my best friends, I didn't know that you put yourself through that fucking torture.
I did. Yeah. There's even a video floating out there with me in the shower too. So I do a lot of things on this channel. All right. I did a whole hurricane video. So
My favorite was still you cutting the grass. That's the best one yet.
Oh, or what's next or whatever.
Yeah.
You like this? Yeah. Yeah. I'm everywhere. I'm walking around with a selfie stick at night. I'm on my lawnmower. I'm in my garage. You know, tonight I'm in the music room. You don't know where you're gonna find me. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I was surprised by Harry Styles, but the other ones like Lizzo, I was just turned off by. I don't mind cursing in music, but when it's just there all the time and referring to people as bitches and all this, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd prefer that she would just sit there and play the flute and do like the classics.
I'd prefer if she just fucking disappeared.
Yeah. Well, Lizzo has a really good voice, but it's kind of like
voice, and she can play the flute.
She can. Oh, she can. Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's like in marching band or something, wasn't she?
She got to play the crystal flute of frickin' Jefferson or some shit at the Library of Congress.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, there's certain art like Alicia Keys I like a lot, but I don't like the production of her music. It just doesn't work for me. But I love her voice. I like what she's about, but it's something about the production that doesn't do it for me.
So I prefer like really hardcore metal like Pantera.
I tried some Pantera. That's definitely not for me. I couldn't do. The guy's got a crazy good voice when he sings without screaming, but
I don't listen to I can't hear the lyrics in the songs that I'm playing. I can only hear the bass, and I don't even know how to explain it.
Well, you're the rhythm, so
I put these things on.
Yeah.
Put on a Pantera song, and then all I hear is the boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, you're playing around with the beat. Yeah. So, Mr. Bruce kick right now. I know.
I am. I gotta tell you, I am loving the Bruce thing lately.
It's funny that you kind of put him off for so long, and now you're like, you figured it out.
Literally, it's what have I been missing?
Yeah.
How's that one? Is that any good?
This is, this is right after Born in the USA, and I like every freaking song on this album. It's it has Tunnel of Love, One Step Up, Two Steps Down, Brilliant Disguise, just every freaking song on here. There's one that was Cautious
on HBO or Max.
On what, Springsteen?
Yep.
Yeah, so you like Nebraska a lot, Rob. This song,
I still don't have Nebraska though.
Yeah, you'll get it's pretty. You find it a lot. Well, here
I've been looking at. I did see the one that you've got in your hands last week, but I didn't pick it up.
Yeah, there's a song called "Cautious Man," and the way he sings, even like "I Ain't Got You," it's very raw sounding, like Nebraska.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So, but then it gets into a little bit of an 80s sound, but I'm okay with it. It's every freaking song on here I like. So I'd like to, if you get a chance to listen to it, I'd like to know what you think about that one.
All right, I'll add that to my.
Hey, JP. This has been going on a while. How many freaking albums did you buy?
What do you mean?
Since your last broadcast?
This last? Well, there's, I don't know, 15 right there.
Is this going to cost you a divorce?
No. I have ties with a record store. I have pretty good connections. I can't go into details, but it works out pretty good for me because I film their videos every Thursday for the record store.
You're the marketing department.
Yeah. So yeah, But if you, yeah, see, I love it that you're getting into Springsteen because I even like his later stuff where he does the Ghost of Tom Joad,
Okay.
which is sort of an acoustic album like Nebraska. But then he got with the guitarist from Rage Against the Machine, Tom Morello,
Yeah.
and did High Hopes, that album. And Morello's all over that. And his version of the Ghost of Tom Joad, if you haven't heard the Ghost of Tom Joad, listen to the acoustic. Yeah, listen to the acoustic. It's based off the Steinbeck novel.
Okay,
yeah, Grapes of Wrath. Listen to the acoustic and then go and listen to what they did together.
Okay.
It freaking kicks you in the teeth. Just boom, it's killer. Yeah,
Like,
I got to say, so far, it's Darkness on the Edge of Town is just my favorite. It just blew me away. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
See, that's where it's funny because that's where I'm kind of, I have those albums, but I'm still a little foggy because I spent so much time with Born in the USA and Tunnel of Love and, later albums.
Like Born in the USA, but I just love that whole like river, or actually, I guess probably Born to Run to about Born in the USA. The 4 or 5 albums there is just love it.
Yeah, well, that's him. Like he was a live act, so it was basically a live act recording. That's what it was. I mean, the energy was there. So
I've been watching a lot of the live stuff too on YouTube.
Apparently he just like sits there and does like 3 hours worth of just fucking kicking your ass. Like,
yep. And he's sweaty as hell. Have you ever seen him after a concert? Like, shirt's drenched, and it's great. It's like a rocker, He just, I've never seen Springsteen, so hopefully he'll tour again and I can see him. So my bucket list of seeing Dylan's coming up. I get to see Bob Dylan on Wednesday.
Scratch some lottery tickets.
Huh?
Scratch lottery tickets.
Another one I picked up that was I don't know. It was Rod Stewart, that 80s album, Out of Order.
That's
so.
I think they're talking about like doing like lottery for tickets.
Oh, for Springsteen. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
And Rod Stewart and like Def Leppard and Sammy Hagar. And
they kind of do that at the Ticketmaster now anyway, but it's online. But I used to hate that. Remember when they first started doing that in the late 80s, early 90s? You would line up at freaking Ticketmaster. There was no online sales.
Get a wristband.
You'd line up.
Yeah, you'd be in freaking line. I'm like, oh, I'm like third in line. This is awesome. Oh, here's your number. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Here's my number. Yeah, and then you end up back 20 back and like, what the? Yeah, that was not good.
I did that for the first time I saw you too.
That drove me nuts.
I don't think I've seen you two.
No, I haven't seen them. But this had Forever Young, which
was first time.
What didn't work on this, he did Try a Little Tenderness, the Otis Redding song. And usually Rod Stewart's good at doing other people's music, but with the 80s sound, yeah. And then he did Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out also, and that did not quite work on this album.
You should do like Barry Manilow.
I have no Barry Manilow.
No, he should. Rod Stewart could do the hell out of some Barry
Manilow. He did the American Standards music, but now he's doing, is it swing or he's doing another concept thing now that he's touring on. That did pretty good for him.
He got enough money and he wants to put it down and officially say it. I guess it is right.
Yep.
American Standards wasn't bad, but swing.
This is Joe Strummer from The Clash. So Glenn's been talking about him a lot, and I didn't realize this was just an EP. That's why it was so cheap. So, but I want to get into some of his stuff. I'm starting to dig The Clash a little bit more. So it seems like a pretty good album.
Clash. What's their main one?
Rock the Casbah.
Rock the Casbah. Okay, what's their second one?
London Calling.
London Calling. Okay, yeah.
That album's great. I love that album.
That's about it.
Yeah. But this one I was telling you, the one I was just telling you about, Andy on the phone, Tom Waits. Foreign Affair. This is very. Somebody was talking about this recently. Was it Alex? Maybe because there's a song in there, and it made me crack up because he was talking about because he's going down the street and a lady's sticking her ass out of the car and they're flicking off people and all this stuff going down the street, and that's what's in the song. So when I heard it playing, I'm like, oh, who the hell was just talking about that? I thought it was Sam, but Sam said it wasn't him. But this is good. It's like a very jazzy album, very a lot of room to breathe in there. Tom Waits kind of getting into that gruff voice. So do you have any Tom Waits stuff? No? Have you tried like his first album before he gets into gruffiness?
No, never appealed to me.
CCR for me, man.
Well, if you listen to the first album, because he has Old 55, which the Eagles
covered, yeah.
And his version, and that song Sam was talking about, was it Almost Fell in Love with You Tonight, or Don't Make Me Fall in Love with You, or something like that. It's a heartbreaking song. But it's very singer-songwriter, but his style's like really, if you haven't tried it, try his first album.
Maybe.
I think it's called Closing Time is the first album.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Not that one. Not that Closing Time.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he gets, if you want to go with him, he gets darker and gruffer, and he does that really strange. See, he gets experimental, but it never gets too weird for me. He still keeps the singer-songwriter part there, but he always says, let's bang on a radiator. Let's do this. Let's bring these different sounds in. He even brought in Edgar S. Burroughs, the poet, and to do Dark Rider, and did a whole album based off of that. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, it's a nice one.
Well, listen, John, it's 1 a.m. I got to shut it down for the evening.
Cool. I'm surprised you stayed up this late, man, especially jet lag. Do you get jet lag and all that?
I was a little jet lagged today, so I slept a little bit this afternoon when my son was at school and feel pretty good now. So
all caught up?
Yeah, I think so.
That's cool. So when's the video coming out?
It'll be out Sunday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be watching it. I appreciate you coming up. That's cool.
No problem.
Yeah. I will see you soon.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
Good to meet you.
You
Sorry
too, man.
I joined. I don't know.
Where are you
All right.
going?
Take it easy, guys.
See you, man.
Dude,
There you go. See, he didn't stick around long enough for me to bring this one up. See, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, he probably knew.
He knew the Pink Floyd was coming.
Yeah, he's like, Floyd's coming. We got to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I have this on. I got the CD when it came out, but I found the record finally. So cool stuff.
It was, I think, one of my first buys.
No, you had all that. You had Omagoma and all that stuff way before this.
Well, no. I mean, rebuy. Like,
No. Get rid of it, get it back.
But I don't know if I'm gonna do any Pink Floyd record. It's gonna be what?
I don't know. What is the go-to Floyd record? Are you gonna be like everybody else and say Dark Side?
No.
See, I like Animals a lot, and a lot of people don't like Animals.
I like that a lot. And obviously, Live in Pompeii is the gold standard, so that's it. But I'd say the Final Cut.
See, I love the Final Cut, and people don't like that damn album.
It's one of my. I think that's the best album other than Live at Pompeii.
Yeah, they call it the Roger Waters Ego album, but I liked it. I had fun with that because I think we found that in the record store, didn't even know about it. I think it was in a cutout bin or something. We're like, what Pink Floyd album is this?
Yeah,
I remember getting that at not Countryside, Pinellas Park Mall.
Yeah,
and they had the 2 record stores in there. And I came across that. I saw that weird cover, and I was like, Pink Floyd, what the freak?
Got all these weird ribbons going on.
Yeah. They call it the Wall, the Wall Junior or whatever, but I like it. 2 Sons in the
only
Sunset.
song that is definitely David Gilmour is Fuck All That.
Yeah. Fuck all that. We got to get on.
Yeah. Fuck all that.
Yeah. When you have the choir singing along with it, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there's parts of that do remind me of like the pros and cons of hitchhiking. There's some similarities between those two albums.
I don't know. I feel like David Gilmour was just being like an asshole, saying I'm putting a fucking song on there.
What, on the final cut? On the final cut like that?
Yeah, on the final cut.
Yeah. I picked this one up because I always say I'm never going to buy a Neil Young album again, and then I buy a Neil Young album. But do you know his album Zuma? You ever heard of that one? It has like Cortez the Killer on it. But anyway, it's like his third or fourth album, somewhere early. But they just put this out. I thought it was Zuma, but it's actually a studio album when he was recording Zuma. So it's alternate takes and songs that were left off of there. It even has a little cactus over here flicking you off. Where's the cactus?
Uh-huh.
It has UFOs. It has everything you could ask for in a rock record.
I know he did one in the barn or something.
Barn is really good. That album Barn. Well, he recorded a lot of stuff in the barn, even Harvest and all those albums recorded in that barn.
I can't believe he's married to Daryl Hannah.
He's the man.
I'm sure she looks different, and we all get older, and we all look different. Look at me, for God's sakes. But, yeah, he's married to Daryl Hannah.
Yeah, it's not the Daryl Hannah of Splash days. They did a movie. I forgot what it was called. It was a really whacked out, hippie, trippy movie with Willie Nelson's son, and they did it was crazy.
Can you imagine, like, Neil Young doing a hippie, trippy, weirdo movie? Like, with Daryl Hannah being the director?
Yeah, it was pretty wild. It was cool. And they had Willie Nelson shows up and he gets in a gunfight with he got a gunfight with somebody. It was funny. But I forgot what his son's band's name is, but Neil was working with them for a while and they were doing some of that weird experimental stuff. Are we getting a house tour? Where's your music room? We need a music room tour.
Well, that's where we just were. This is the man cave. Computer, record player with actually
that turntable over there?
Dust, TV, blah, blah, blah.
What, you guys gaming there?
Dog.
Is your dog alive?
Attack dog.
Dog does not.
Your
dog doesn't.
You see her?
Well. Yeah, she doesn't look well. Poke her. Make sure she's alive. Gosh, she looks like Tippy.
Wait.
Oh, lost him. He's back.
I'm messing up. I keep hitting the volume button. Anyways, yes, that's the kind of the man cave.
That's cool. You guys just do gaming in there?
Yep. And then out here is the smoking lounge. It gets rearranged during different times of the year, and that thing is like the heater. And yep, the dog goes out on the cable.
That's cool.
Pretty cool. I mean, I have no complaints. And I'll show you. Well, fuck, I'll just show you now. I was literally sitting there at JP. TJ is my nephew's name. Or nephew-in-law. We're like two peas in a pod, like sitting there arguing about Democratic policy.
Yeah, we don't do politics here. There's politics-free zone. If you want
Oh
politics,
yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, but
go here. If you want politics, there you go.
yeah,
That's cool
that
stuff.
was the stupid freaking drum pedals that I got to replace, and then I got 2 Fender guitar amps. They're years old, but I left the tags on them.
Now, what made you get the electronic drums instead of just a regular kit?
Because even though I live kind of in the city, or out of the city, or in the country, or whatever, it's just a lot nicer on neighbors, etc. And my kid didn't take to it, so
Oh, that way you can drum away and not bother them.
yeah.
Well,
And sit there and do
you're
my
down. You're gonna be here in March, right? You're gonna be here next month. This month.
on the 13th.
That's too bad. You just missed maybe seeing Dylan. That would have been cool. You ever seen Bob Dylan?
No, that would be cool, but I don't know.
That's a bucket list for me. Have to see Dylan. There are gonna be some that I regret not seeing, but at least I got to see. Dylan was so important. Even if you didn't like his whole career, there's a point of Dylan for everybody.
The early stuff, like.
Well, remember we used to sit down and we wrote the complete lyrics of Masters of War. Sat there in your freaking living room, and you were at the tape pausing and playing, and I'm sitting there writing every lyric down. Why we did that, I don't know. I know what was it, Glowing Jesus in the Dark or something like that. I don't know why we did that. And then we didn't even do anything with it. It's not like we were going to learn the song or anything.
Well, did you? I don't know. I don't even know if you learned to read music, but you never tried to teach me.
No, that's back in the day when we just listened to the radio and figured out the chords.
Yeah, but had like the piano and.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't teach me. But I can play the fuck out of the piano. I'm not saying nothing bad about it, but I couldn't tell you it's an A, B, C, D, E, F, G string.
Well, remember we got the 2 black keys and the 3 black keys. You got the 2 black keys and the 3 black keys. That's all.
3 black keys, and then you do a bridge between these.
Yeah, you have the 2 black keys. Right there to the left, you got the C right there. That's all you need to know. C chord was my favorite. Everything started with a C chord on the piano. Don't know why.
I think that feels the most natural. Like, that's right where I'm going. Boom. And then you can move off the C into anything else. Like just the boom, 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 and then the no C in the whole fucking song. But I think that probably is like a centering note.
I don't know.
That makes any sense?
Well, it's like me on the guitar. Every song has a freaking G chord in it. It's like, try to write one without the G chord. That melody always wants to go back to the G chord.
Oh, and I don't smoke that much.
That's the first one you've had on the show. So this is what we do. This is what we're doing Monday night also. I'm going to go up with Glenn. We have to Glenn Kellaway from the basement. We're going to be talking about Clapton for about 2 hours. So
I thought we were talking about Clapton tonight.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about him, but I went back and listened to the audiobook, and just to get some knowledge of what he went through. Because remember, he was like raised by his grandparents were his parents. His mom was 15 and got knocked up by a Canadian Air Force guy in World War II.
It was a very common thing.
Yeah. But what's effed up about it is I think she remarried and had a couple kids. So they would come and visit with the kids and see Clapton, and then they would take off, and he'd be like, "Great, I don't get to go hang out with my mom," you know. So
Yeah, a lot of the movies nowadays are sitting there saying like Clapton was super intimidated by Hendrix and stuff like that.
well,
I don't think he was.
no, he was a different kind of guitar player.
And even on the new Ozzy, I mean, come on, man. That was
Well,
good.
If anybody felt challenged by Hendrix, it was probably like Pete Townsend, because he was more of that flashy guitar player. Where Clapton wasn't really flashy, you know.
Slow hand.
Yeah. He would do those slow blues licks, and they worked. He wrote some great melodies. It worked. You know, you could
When
see
you
what
want to talk
just
about Pink Floyd, I want to talk about how much Nick Mason is underappreciated.
Oh, no, I always loved Nick Mason. The first time I really appreciated Nick Mason's drumming was the soundtrack for the film More. And there was the way they recorded the drums on that, I was like, yeah, that sold me.
It was live in Pompeii for me when he dropped that drumstick and just kept going. And then there was another one like Careful What That Axe Eugene, when he literally sits there and tells his hi-hat that fucking, that's his foot. He tells it. You see it program. That is so much impregnated on me.
Well, Pompeii, yeah, with Mademoiselle Knobs with the dog. But they named it something else. It was on another album, but they called it something else. Seamus. They called it Seamus.
Yeah. Yep. Same.
It's Seamus. I always called it Seamus, but it's Seamus.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody corrected me recently.
It's famous.
Yeah, if the VC is good for anything, it's for correcting you. They will correct you very quickly. Like on
the album or on the movie when the Tigers broke free.
Oh, I love that song.
Okay, I know, very good. It reminds me of just heroism. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the way the beginning of The Wall with that song, and then there is a sound. I don't know if it was ever released, but there is a soundtrack, and it has when the Tigers broke free, and there's another song too they left off of The Wall, but there's a soundtrack version of it with those songs on it. I'd like to get a copy of that
on vinyl.
I don't know. No, I've only heard it digital, so I don't know how it was put together. If it was ever released as a soundtrack, I don't know. You would think.
I don't think you can get the movie soundtrack on vinyl.
Yeah, I've never seen it on CD either. I've only seen it like in a digital format. Well, I played the crap out of that for a while.
Gene Simmons should tell him, "Hey guys, put some shit out on vinyl, even though you don't necessarily agree with each other." And Roger Waters is weird, and
Roger's got some anger management issues. Poor Roger. He's very angry.
I think, damn, I can't even figure out this fucking camera.
I still love him. I still like Roger Waters. I always forget I saw him in concert.
I didn't. I was gonna go to the Nick Mason thing, but nah. Okay, there's the camera. I'm trying to figure this thing out. Never used this.
Yeah, you just bring it up on your computer. It's a lot easier.
I need to shave. But you saw my fatness on that video when I'm playing the drums and the bass. That's pretty much the only actual stimulation that I can get for I mean, I can listen to Pantera. I can listen to Metallica. I can listen to jazz bands. All this, that, the other thing.
Jazz is awesome.
Yeah, but none of it really feels like in my heart.
Mm-hmm. I
The
know.
only way that I can do it is just to play my own fucking music myself, I guess.
Yeah. I think you'd like Art Blakey for jazz. I don't know if you've spent any time listening to his stuff, but if you listen to the Moanin' album, he's a jazz drummer who's the band leader. So it always kind of, he gives the other guys their room to breathe, but he'll come back and do a little drum solo and then come back in, you know. So, and he's got this big freaking, now he did a lot of heroin, so maybe that's why he always was smiling. I don't know, but I don't know. But every freaking album, I mean, look at him. There he is right there. Look at that smile. And then he's got that big ass smile right there. Can't really see it, but
Did he die
every
from
time you see him, he's just got this huge smile, but he's looking at the other guys in the band and he's just loving it, you know.
Wait,
he's fun to watch.
somebody said something. I don't know. I feel like I'm hogging in. We're supposed to be talking about Eric Clapton. Let's talk about Eric Clapton.
Well, you can give me a warm up. You can test my knowledge of Clapton since I'm going to be talking about him Monday.
I'm absolutely, positively going to say that Blind Faith. It's my favorite. I don't know why it's my favorite band in my favorite album.
Well, we played the crap out of that thing, and it never got old.
Joy, and then the do what you like.
Oh, do what you like.
Do what you like.
Yeah.
Do what you like. You
with
can
the 20-minute drum solo.
Like,
oh yeah.
Oh man.
It's that's why I said I tossed between that and the Blues Breakers, because the first time I heard the Blues Breakers, it was like,
God, about the Blues Breakers.
Right. You go, God, it was like, I never heard a sound like that before, you know, and John Mayall, you know, doing his thing.
John Mayall.
So
is he still with us?
Yeah. Yeah. He actually is. It's funny because if you look at Graham Nash from CSN, he looks like Graham Nash now. He's somehow transformed into Graham Nash.
But is he?
I was like, what Graham Nash
producing or
no? He's still putting albums out and stuff. He always remained steady, but never became, you know, like a standout. But everybody knew who he was. You know, everybody knows him. But yeah, I mean, the Yardbirds. So Clapton did what, 1.5 albums with the Yardbirds. The first one was okay. 5 Live.
Jeff Beck.
Well, Jeff Beck came in, yeah, and that's the second album with For Your Love, which is like the deal killer for Clapton because it's too poppy. And then Jeff Beck comes in. So, but then what? He left the Yardbirds to go to John Mayall, right? And then he left the Yardbirds to go to John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. Did one album with them, but then he started meeting up with Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce, and said, this could be pretty good. So he just left. He was living with John Mayall, and he just
Cream.
Well, yeah, he went. Yeah, so he was living with John Mayall, did the album with them, and then just said, "Oh, I'm gonna do this." And John Mayall was like, "What the hell?"
John Mayall.
Yeah. So he goes into Cream. They do what, 3 albums together. And then
pretty good album.
Egos. Yeah, I like Fresh Cream better than Disraeli Gears, actually. Personally, even though Disraeli Gears is really good, but I like Fresh Cream too.
They can't redo it, so
no, it's still. I wouldn't turn them down. It's a good album. So.
No, I'm saying I can't redo it. Like,
but then the Egos and Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker are fighting. They're gonna kill each other.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
The quadruple paradiddle.
Well, he said it was ego that broke up the band. Their heads are too big, and it's either break up or kill each other.
He was kind of like the modern day or the olden day Neil Peart.
Who, Ginger Baker?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it. Yeah.
He was very 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's how you keep it. And if you can't do that, do not put your feet in your hands behind these drums.
Yeah. Yeah. So Cream breaks up, and then who? What's next? Do you have your volume on or something? Because I hear feedback in there.
I can try to turn it down. It might be my fan. I'll just move.
Because when I talk, I can hear like major feedback. That's better. Now I don't hear it.
Yeah, it's probably my ceiling fan.
So when he leaves Cream, where does he go? Come on, test your knowledge.
Derek and the Dominoes.
Nope.
Lee's Cream, not Derek and the Dominoes. It wasn't Blind Faith.
Was it or wasn't it?
Yardbirds.
No, Yardbirds was first.
Traffic.
No, he wasn't in Traffic. That was Steve Winwood. There's your connection. So let's see. Yeah. So 69, Cream breaks up. When did the Blind Faith album come out? 69. So it was Blind Faith right after that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And what's interesting is like they just fizzled out because I think Steve Winwood was still with Traffic, early 60s into the 70s. I was talking to Gary the other day about it. It's like, how is he doing Traffic and this Blind Faith thing at the same time? So it's kind of like a one-off project. And I think they did an American tour and they were supposed to go to UK and it just fizzled out. They just kind of went their own ways. It was really weird. So they just kind of just disappeared. But then what's happening? Huh?
To sing me a song. I mean,
Blind Faith is a great album.
No, that was Yardbirds.
Oh, which one? Okay.
Or was that Trap?
I don't know which one you were singing. Are you talking about Mr. Fantasy?
Dear Mr. Fantasy.
Oh, that was Traffic. Yeah.
Traffic.
Yeah.
So Steve Winwood, Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce are probably doing 3 different projects, kind of all at the same time.
Well, you can see right there that it was mostly Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce fighting because Ginger Baker went and right after Cream did Blind Faith with him. So they were. He said kind of Ginger kept him in line too, especially when he's going through his heroin stuff. And Ginger's like, "Look, I catch you with that shit, I will kill you." And he's like, and I believed him because did you see that documentary on Ginger Baker? That dude's he's punching people and like
Ginger Baker. What is it? Ginger Baker is the devil or something like that.
Yeah, something. Yeah, it was so good. It was a good documentary. But if you look at like Clapton,
that again.
Yeah, in 69, Clapton did Blind Faith. He did the live piece in Toronto with John Lennon and his band, the Plastic Ono Band. So he was really working. Somewhere in there he did, was it 68 that he did While My Guitar Gently Weeps?
Yeah, for George Harrison.
Yeah.
Who's Patty. God, I mean...
You know what's weird about that? So he pursued her for so long. He proclaimed his love for her in front of George. And George said, well, are you going home with him or are you going home with me? And at that point, she chose George and she went home with George. And Clapton was heartbroken. And that's what led, the breakup to Derek and the Dominoes and that. And then he went into that big, for 2 years, just heroin. Well, actually, he snorted it only. He only snorted heroin. He never injected it, supposedly. But so check it out. So he waits so long. They don't get married until 1978, This is like 10 years after.
Really? They got married that late?
Yeah, 78. They got divorced in 88, but he had kids with two other women like in 86 and 88 while with her. So I don't know if they were split up at that point or what, but
He probably has new kids.
no judgment. No judgment. No judgment.
No judgment. I mean,
This is the no judgment zone. So, but look at 70, what he did. So he goes in 70, he's with Delaney and Bonnie and Friends. And that's like in January.
Bonnie and Friends. Oh my God, I forgot about them.
Yep. That's one that was never really on the radar, you know? We never really, I always kind of knew that album was there, but I never really paid that much attention to it. But I was at the record store and grabbed the bad boy.
Blaney and listen to it.
So this is after like Blind Faith and Clapton going, I want to be anonymous. I just want to be a guy in the band and that's it. And he was the guitar player, you know, for Delaney and Bonnie. You know, but he does that in 70. In August of 70, he puts out his first solo album, and that has people from Delaney and Bonnie Friends and Derek and the Dominoes, because some of the guys from Derek and the Dominoes were from Delaney and Bonnie and Friends, and he kind of just took them along.
The cigarettes and money. Or
Money and Cigarettes is, you're jumping, that's like 80 or 70 something.
What's his first solo? I'm sorry.
Eric Clapton. Just Eric Clapton.
Yeah, I know.
That's the one where he's just sitting in the chair or whatever.
Eric Clapton.
Just Eric Clapton. But he did Delaney and Bonnie Friends, Eric Clapton, and Derek and the Dominoes in 70. So that was pretty wild. But then from 71 to 73, he was Mr. Heroin, like just crazy heroin. The only thing he did was the Bangladesh concert with George Harrison. And then, but when he flew, the only stipulation was, look, I'll leave England and go to New York, but you got to make sure I have heroin or I'm not coming. So he needed a constant supply of heroin to get through that concert. So that's the only thing he did between like 71, 73. And then, so he's whacked out on heroin, and who comes to the rescue? Pete Townsend. Pete Townsend said, let's get you off your ass and let's go do a concert. Let's get going. And they did the Rainbow concert. So that's when the Rainbow concert comes into play. So Clapton's like, all right, I'm going to do this. We're cool. And then that's when he started his solo career right there. Because I think 461 Ocean Boulevard came out in 74. Motherless Children. I mean, that's a great album.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. But 461, then there's One in Every Crowd. EC was here. See, I like No Reason to Cry. I like that album.
I like EC Was Here.
Yeah, it's a good live album. So, yeah, then after No Reason to Cry in 77, you had Slow Hand. And that was big. I mean, that was a big album.
That was Money and Cigarettes. How
that's
old?
80s. That's right before August. We had Slow Hand. You had Backless. Just One Night. Remember that? The cocaine live version they played like crazy. Then Another Ticket was 81. Then Money and Cigarettes was 83.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That came out 10 years. Innocent Man. I was trying to put those two together.
A lot of music.
Yeah, same year as Innocent Man. Pretty crazy.
Because like 83, I was. Well, wait. When did it come out? 83?
83. So I would have been 11.
I was only 10, so we weren't smoking money and having cigarettes.
No, well, we didn't discover that album until later, because really, I think my first Clapton album, Gary brought me Slow Hand, but that was like in the 80s somewhere. I didn't discover Money and Cigarettes till a little bit later. But I love that album with Rock and Roll Hard and all that. Yeah, that's a great album with the melted guitar.
You're learning to play the guitar, and I should have just fucking sat there and learned to play the fucking guitar.
Yeah. Yeah, we were stupid.
Sorry to use the F word. Well, you weren't. But
no, I ran off with a girl. I was girl crazy. That was the problem. I ran off with a girl.
Well, didn't know. I mean,
Yeah, kind of. But then 84, he did Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking.
I thought that was Roger Waters.
Yeah, but that's kind of following him. But then 85 was Behind the Sun. I freaking love that album. I think that was produced by Phil Collins.
Phil Collins. Man. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's done a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. Well, like a lot of people have done a lot of work. It's like nowadays they're like, it's this person featuring that person. But the Ozzy album, it was Ozzy.
You talk about the Patient number 9 or whatever, that last one?
I don't know. It's just like,
well, the last album he put out, he had a bunch
Lil
of
Nas X featuring Lil
Yeah.
Z Dog.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like
Well-
all the featurings.
Yeah, well, the hip hop and rap, they always have featuring somebody who's never even been heard of before. You know,
Yeah. Well,
I'm supposed to know about this person.
back in the day, you would get the album or the CD or the cassette, and then you look in the back flap, and it'd be like you'd see who the writing credits went to. You'd be like, P. Abdul, Paul Abdul, who's that?
Yeah.
Sheryl Crow singing backup on Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Right. Well, she never did a recording. She really did the live stuff with him.
I think no, she was a recording.
I thought she was only like concert, but
She was recording.
Yeah, hopefully we're gonna get more. I like her first 5 or so albums. I'd like to see those come out on vinyl.
I don't think she would re-record it. Hey, Taylor Swift was very smart.
Yeah, boy, if you brought up Taylor Swift when Rob was on here, you'd have been. He's a big Taylor Swift fan.
Oh, he's a Swiftie?
He's a big. Yep.
Nothing about her music that I like or dislike, but she was very smart. She went back in, bought her own recording studio, and re-recorded her own music because she now owns the tracks. There are 2 copies.
Yep. Yeah, I good for her. You know, it's just like anybody. I'm not gonna just because I don't get into the music, I'm not gonna bash her. I mean, there's no way. You know.
Well, Billy Joel doesn't own his own recordings.
Yeah, he does.
No, he does not.
He's talking about selling them, but he does. He owns everything.
No,
he hasn't sold it.
Nope.
Oh, see, I'm gonna have to do the research. Hold on. Now you're gonna make me do research.
He was just on Howard Stern and
he was talking about selling them because somebody wanted a lot of money for it. So he's entertaining it, but he hasn't done it.
No, but the thing is, he says, I don't own the master recordings from whatever studio. I'm not fucking with you, dude.
I'm looking. No, I'm just looking because I haven't heard about that. Since River of Dreams, Joel has released just 2 songs.
No, it's his whole thing. He owns the copyright on the music, but he does not physically own the original tapes. That's why Taylor Swift went and re-recorded her stuff, so that way she owned it, and then the people can sit there and fight. You know, like, oh, you're gonna sue her? She's got $1 billion. Good luck, you know?
Right. Yeah, I'm just looking through. It's interesting. That's right, because you have like Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson bought all the Beatles stuff.
And Paul McCartney did buy it back from Sony for like $500 million.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because while they were working together on a couple songs, Paul was like, hey, you got to get into publishing. You got to get into the rights of music. And what does he do? He turns around and buys all the Beatles crap from him, outbids them. He's like, damn it. It's like I was trying to help the guy. Let's
Well,
see. Walter Yankoff bought back the rights to Joel's song in the late 70s, giving the rights to Joel as a birthday gift. So he's saying he got the rights to the music in the 70s. I don't know. It's interesting.
listen to Howard Stern.
Yeah, I got to watch the whole interview. Did you see the video?
No, I listened to the interview live. I listened to Howard Stern.
No, I'm saying the video for Turn the Lights Back On. Have you seen that thing?
And
I love it. I like it. I don't care if it's CGI. I like it.
I know.
I
I've heard the song quite a bit.
yeah. Well, he performed it and everything. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's like way back in the 70s.
Well, when he goes into the chorus and he, I'm late, but I'm here right now. He's doing these piano rolls that I haven't heard him do since like Cold Spring Harbor, and it brought me right back. And a lot of people caught on to that when he did that. There was just certain sound he had, and he brought it into that song, and I was like, holy crap. So
Apparently, like some kid, I'm gonna say kid, like some 23, 32-year-old kid,
like 33, yeah.
Billy Joel,
Yep.
make another song.
Did you hear how he got to him though? Right? He goes through his doctor.
He just went relentless.
He went to his doctor. He was living in LA. Billy Joel's in New York. His doctor somehow knew Billy Joel's doctor. Billy Joel's doing a favor for his doctor. It's like, oh, I'll meet with this kid. But he looked at him. He's like 33, has a family. He's a producer. And they sit down and have lunch. And he's like, I could tell Billy wasn't really into it. He was ordering food to go. So he was like getting ready to get out of here. And somehow this kid just stuck in, like, say kid, I guess it is, right? It's weird saying a 30
Kid. We're saying kid.
Freaking kid. Yeah, we're fucking old men now.
Yep.
So
and they're older than us having this conversation. They're in their 70s.
Right. So yeah, that whole thing where he's just like, and then somehow he gets Billy to send him all these songs, unfinished songs. And he's like, here, I don't know if you find something. And he found that song. So it's cool. I think they did a good job with it. It's, it's a lot different, I think, through the eyes of a Billy Joel fan, but I still think the song's really good and it holds up. So
I think as a Billy Joel fan, he did okay. First song in like 30 years.
Yeah. Well, the part I love about it is it's not really the bridge, but he brings down the chorus. Everything comes out, and it's just him, and he's doing soulful Ray Charles. He's channeling Ray Charles, and he's going, "I'm late, but I'm here right now." And he says this other phrase, and you're like, "Oh!" And then everything kicks back in. So maybe it's a little slightly overproduced. It could have been a little more raw.
Yeah,
his voice was out there too much. They could have brought it back, but I'll take it. I got 2 of the 4. I got 4 of the 45s now. So
yeah,
my lights went out. I ran my battery down. Look at that.
Killed your own feed.
Yeah, look, everything's like right there. I have to bring it up. Yeah, I have these 2 lights here that bring all the light in. Everything's behind me.
Ready for me to turn on amps and drums and bass and.
No, I'm going to bed. I'm getting ready to hit. We have to do this again, though. This was good, and what we'll have to do is get together and do a Pink Floyd thing. So
I don't know if I could do a Pink Floyd thing.
Why not? You know Pink Floyd. Come on.
Really?
You don't have all those old CDs?
Very confusing. It's as confusing as Eric Clapton.
Well, I did my homework, though. I mean, you could see because I'm sitting there reading off my phone.
I heard you read it.
Yeah. So you got to have your cheat sheet a little bit. But I'll be bringing out the albums and the CDs and all that crap for the video that we're going to do. No, we should do a theme, though.
Well, it was cool to be on the live feed, I guess. Yeah. Hopefully. I'm sorry I'm so fat.
Oh, look at this. Come on, man. I got the waddle now. I got fucking everything. You got some hair to hide the waddle, though. Yeah.
I need a shave.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, my beard's too white. I have to shave. I can't do that.
But I'll play the fuck out of some drums, dude.
We'll have to see if we could do a jam over this thing sometime. I don't know how we would do it.
I don't know either.
I don't know, but I wonder if it can be done. But yeah, this is cool. This is a good way to get up and talk. We're both
Yeah.
night birds, so that's kind of cool.
I can play the bass and the drums. You can play the piano and the guitar.
Yeah, I've been enjoying just playing the bass lately too. I got together with my old band, and I played bass. And it was fun.
Yeah, but okay. I don't know if people are still watching. I hope not.
No, somebody else is hanging out there.
What would you say? You saw how I played the bass. I'm playing like a C, just a C, and then I can go to the but it doesn't register because I'm using a guitar amp. Guitar amps and bass, they're not friends. And then
No, you need a bass amp. I mean,
I know, but I just
either that or if you get acoustic bass. I mean, not necessarily. You can play bass through a guitar amp. You just don't
have
max
to.
it out because you're gonna get all that distortion.
I like the distortion.
Bring up your treble on it, believe it or not.
I like the distortion for the guitar.
Yeah, but if you bring up the treble on the bass, then it evens out the bass sound, and you'll get more. You'll still have the deep sound of the bass, but it's just higher, and you're not going to get that rumbly distortion.
Because the only thing that's hitting is like the top string on a phone recording, but still, I'm doing like do 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 do, and all you can hear is boom, and then I am obviously recovering. I'm just doing the top string while I'm playing the drums at the same time, but I'm also moving my fingers, but you can't hear it because I don't have a bass fucking amp. And
you need to lay down a track and then play along with it. You just have to. Whenever I did recording, I just laid down the drum tracks first, paced out the song, and then just added everything to it on top of it. Unless you're just using a drum loop, you can't play. I don't know. You want to do bass and drums at the same time. I don't know about that. That's a lot going on.
Well, that's what.
You got to hold that bass and play, and
Well, you've seen the video.
Well, do a basic drum loop, and then just play your bass with it. I'd record your drums first. Because I literally sit there.
I get bored with I can do that. It's just like I was saying. I'm literally trying to disassociate my left arm from my whole body, so that way I can basically use my left arm.
Okay, then why don't you just use a keyboard? If you're going to play drums with one hand, do a keyboard bass lines on a keyboard and play your drums like that if you're going to do it.
Wait, like use a keyboard on my left hand?
Yeah, instead of trying, because bass you need two hands. I mean, you do. So
I don't though.
What are you doing? You're really hitting those strings on the fretboard, like really getting it, because you need that end. You need that other end to kind of.
I know, and you can see it.
So if you have a keyboard and you're just doing your bass lines on the keyboard and doing your drums over here, why not? Then you can really get a cool sound. You can add effects to the keyboard and it fills out the music a little bit. I don't know. I think it's crazy, but you do it. You do your thing, because I don't know. I will plan out a song, and then it's fun because I can jam to that song, especially if do you have a looper? a loop pedal?
No,
If you get one
I
of
have
those,
no pedals.
that would be fun. A loop pedal, because you could you could probably record your drums into that, and you do a basic beat, but you could do 4 different types of beats, and you can change up your song through that. So you can literally record your drums first, and then come up and play your bass and just hit the pedal and change up the rhythms, and then it doesn't get boring.
I probably have to play the bass and the drums and lay down a basic something. I don't know. I mean,
I've recorded complete songs with doing every instrument on them, but you always start with the
yeah,
drum.
it's easy though,
Yeah.
right?
But you're doing more of a live environment, and that's a little bit different. With a one-man band, you're going to have to have something pre-recorded. I mean, that's just how it is.
I could do a guitar. I could do a guitar.
Yeah.
No, live. Play my bass and my drums, and then have a guitar there going wow wow wow. I could play 3. You dare me?
Yeah.
Somebody
Well, of
dare
course,
me.
I dare you. It's not going to happen, but go ahead. You do your thing, man. I
Wow.
want to see you carry off the drums and the bass. I mean, first, and then you're going to add a guitar. Yeah.
Watch this. That's all you have to do. It's very simple. All right. Come on, baby. I think I blew a fuse earlier. Oh, that was that smoke smell. Okay.
There you go. I'm gonna call this making you big. Making you big. So this is going to be
I could just strum it.
So you got the whole screen now. You're the star right now.
No.
Look at it's all you, man. It's all you.
Dare me?
Well, I think we're making YouTube history with nobody watching, so it's going to be awesome.
Boy. I don't think I can do it.
You think?
Because, well, no, I only have 2 amplifiers. So either, yeah, I gotta.
This is what we're gonna do next time. We're gonna talk about Pink Floyd.
Amp.
We're gonna do a Pink Floyd discussion, and then halfway through we're gonna stop, and it's gonna be your performance, and then we'll go back to our Pink Floyd discussion. What you should probably do is buy a gong, and that will be your interpretive music session of boom. All right, now back to Pink Floyd.
I could do my drums, but no, I can't do bass and the guitar and the drums because I only have 2 amps.
How about one of those boxes that you can sit on and you hit the bottom of them? Those are cool sounding. You could hit that and play a bass.
Can't really do that and the guitar.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna play all these instruments that you want to play are 2-handed instruments, and somehow you want to learn to cut the hand out of each one of them, and add a third instrument.
Yep.
That's what I'm hearing.
Play the bass with one hand, the drums with one hand, and a guitar with the same hand as the drums.
Okay. Yeah, you're hearing it now. You're hearing it out loud. It's a little bit different.
Well, no, I have to have every tone and everything set perfect so that I can hit just like the boom, just like one string on the guitar. That's it. I can do that.
Okay. Well, listen, we can go live anytime and you can show us your talents. Just like this. This is how we do it. We hold nothing back. That's what we love about the YouTube thing. We just fucking do it. We don't care.
Well, you can show people my crazy video. And that's like a $75 base I have, by the way.
That's a good little starter. Yeah. I got a nice
Like,
I forgot how much I spent on it, but a nice Fender Jazz bass. Kind of looks like Blackie, really. It's black with a white pick guard, but it's just a nice long bass. So I like playing it. I enjoy it.
I have a Squire Stratocaster. This thing is probably as nice as Blackie or your red one.
Yeah, Jess has kind of commandeered my red Strat, but yeah, well, if your kid plays your guitar, it's kind of cool. But I have the Blackie too. I have the Eric Clapton guitar Blackie, so not a cheap guitar.
No.
In fact, I need to get it kind of cleaned up a little bit. I think it's got some cobwebs in it. But yeah.
Play some freaking teach me how to play Comfortably Numb.
I'd like to learn how to play the song.
I get like 2 notes in and I'm done.
Yeah, that solo is just one of the best solos ever made. So.
Yeah. Anyways, okay.
Yep.
JP.
Yep.
I love you, dude.
Yep. Good seeing you. I'm glad you came up. I didn't think you were going to come up, but good. I'm glad you did.
I didn't know what coming up means, but
well, here you are. And this is what making you big. That's making you big, so you know all the terms.
Yeah,
making you big, making you small.
Yeah,
get rid of that right there. So cool. Glad you came up. I'm gonna hit it, but yeah, we'll have to do this again.
Okay. Night, JP.
Good night. I'll see you. All right, so that was it. I got through the album somehow and had some fun with some guys. So I'll just keep this up. I don't think we said anything crazy that we'd be ashamed of. And that's it. So thank you guys for watching. And until next time, you enjoy your music. And I'll see you later. Bye.